Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast episode. And I am really, really sorry and that I couldn't make any podcast episode. And it's been more than a month, I believe. My last podcast episode was "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Weaker." And for some reason, I was reading, I was watching a lot, I was doing something that kept me um, I would say that did not let me record my podcast episode. Maybe I was in a very different frame of mind and I was doing a lot of emotional wellness coaching on me, definitely. Because I experiment everything on me and then I suggest or recommend things to others. And what I can say is it works. And I loved it. Before starting today's episode, which is on highly sensitive person, because I strongly believe I'm one, and I'll use a term called HSP, the short term HSP, because it's a long thing to say highly sensitive person during the episode. Today we are going to discuss highly sensitive person and what is the time today. So today's date is 19th April, time is 2:27 p.m. This is India, Delhi, and it is too hot. So hot is an understatement. Okay, it's boiling as per us. Yeah. If world is the base, so I don't know. So it's boiling for us here. So coming back to the topic of highly sensitive person, who is a highly sensitive person? I think I come across so many people, and everybody says, "Oh, I'm very emotional. Oh, I'm loving. I'm caring. I am sensitive. I am this. I am that." And you know what they think? They think everything means same. But in my previous episodes, I have defined regret. I have defined guilt. I have defined everything. So, in this episode, I would like to uh, focus on these words that if you are loving, that doesn't mean you are caring. If you are caring, it doesn't mean you are sensitive. If you are emotional, that doesn't mean you are sensitive again. Okay, being emotional and being sensitive are two different words. Okay, so and we don't give a thought. Okay, we just adopt it. We listen to a word and we just say, "Oh, hey, let me take this. Now this is my word also. I'll fit it somewhere." I don't understand the meaning, but this is what highly sensitive people do. They are very, very conscious about each and every word which they use, how they make others feel, what they feel, everything. And when they come across people who don't care about their feelings, who don't get it, why they are stuck somewhere, okay, something which happened in 1919 and people are still stuck there, or 1947, or 1972 war, or why are people sensitive about Russia-Ukraine war? It's not happening here. Why should we think? Or maybe the scenario which happened, like Will Smith, okay, what he did, that Oscar fiasco of 2022, people are talking about it. So I would say Will Smith is a highly sensitive person. And for being a highly sensitive person, it doesn't mean I need to love somebody a lot to become a highly sensitive person. No. Highly sensitive person is all about uh, what is my feeling and what is mine. So here, two I would say important words are my and mine. That makes you highly sensitive. Okay, and if you don't like something, in a fit of moment you react, and after that you may think about it. Oh, why I did that, or why it happened to me. So that is what happens with highly sensitive person. So I will go in detail, and the first thing which comes in my mind is emotional intelligence. So are these people very intelligent emotionally? Yes, they are. They are highly intelligent emotionally. They can sense emotions like like an antenna. And that is why they look around for people who can understand their emotions without uttering a word. They are highly attuned to their feelings, their state of mind, and to others' feelings and others' state of mind. So they are high on empathy, they are high on inner sensations. Okay, they are highly overwhelmed and easily overwhelmed, I would say. And when confronted, and if they're asked any question which is not okay to them, so what happens? they it gives them inner sensations, and they don't want to answer it. Okay, so it's like an arrow which is shot, and it goes and it just hits you right in place, so you're not happy about it. And what happens? Your mind races, and you consider all the possible implications of the words that are about to come out of your mouth. Okay, like again, Will Smith. He heard something, he didn't like it, and there were inner sensations happening. That inner sensations led to, uh, I would say, he's a time person. Okay, he didn't wanted to make a decision, and lots of thoughts came running in his mind, and in a fit of moment, he couldn't even think about the possible implications at that point. He thought he would say something which is not good, okay, and so he just went and he just slapped. Okay, so that's what happens. Maybe sometimes you cry a lot. Like, I'm a crying person. I cried all my life, and people would come and tell me, why are you crying? Oh, you felt bad. And some people, I would say majorly, people would look down on me. Oh, she cries every time. Oh, she's silly, you know. And then you think that you are alone, but data doesn't agree to that. Overall, 15 to 20% of the population are thought to be highly sensitive, and HSPs, highly sensitive person, are more disturbed than others by violence, tension, feelings of being overwhelmed. If you are a person, and if you think and feel everything more deeply, then you may be one of the 20% of people who fall in this category of being a highly sensitive person. So, what are the characteristics of highly sensitive person? Biologically, they pick up on more stimuli within and around them. Studies have shown that their HSP brain is more active in areas related to attention, emotion, action planning, decision making, okay, and have strong internal experiences. Like, I was watching this Netflix series, Anatomy of a Scandal, and the screenplay is really beautiful. And what is happening in the screenplay? They are showing that if somebody said something, what is the internal experience, how the person is feeling from inside, how everything just seems topsy-turvy. What is the feeling? So they did their best in expressing the feelings and emotions. And in fact, at the workplace, managers consistently rate people with higher sensitivity as their top contributors. As professionals, HSPs are innovative, deeply committed to fairness. They're very fair, they're fair people, and have a knack for leading teams of people in a way others simply can't. You have knack of, you understand each and everybody's emotions. You know what will work. Okay, and not because what will work. It's like you share a very unique and nice bonding, and you touch others' lives in a very special way. So, but what is the flip side? Because everything has a flip side. So, hyper attunement can be draining because you think a lot. So, it's draining. Okay, and the situations that might be moderately stressful to the average person can cause a sensitive spiral person to spiral into one thinking. So, hypersensitive person is a person who has kind of spiral thinking in the brain. Okay, it's just imaginary, and something which is like of average stress, you take it too seriously and you keep thinking, and of course that's called overthinking. And this is especially true for sensitive strivers. And now, what is sensitive strivers? Sensitive strivers is a subset of HSP. They show above average ambition and appetite for continual growth. So they are very, very, I would say, high on aspirations. What are the signs which shows you are a highly sensitive person? So first I will go through all the points and then I'll explain in detail what each point means. Or we can do the other way around. So if you think the first sign is, for example, is you are extremely empathetic. Now, what you can think about this? What does extremely empathetic means? How would you react as an extremely empathetic person? I'm sure you are getting so many thoughts. You are somewhere now. You are in trance thinking, oh, yes, I am extremely empathetic, and these are these were the points in my life where I became extremely empathetic. Okay, so for that you need to have a very high EQ. You are high on EQ and you are master of communication. And what is the flip side? You fall into people pleasing and putting others needs ahead of your own. And now I know you would be saying, oh yeah, I did that, I always do that. So you are extremely empathetic. And the second point, the second sign I would say is you cherish reflection. Now, what does that mean? You operate best when you have time and space to reflect before responding. So, impulsive doesn't work for these people. These people should avoid doing anything which comes out of impulse. Just imagine if Will Smith could have resisted that moment, his life would be very different now. So, everybody who is very highly sensitive should resist the impulse for that moment. Just count. If I don't know, there was a Bollywood movie called Love. I remember, I don't know the year. So Salman Khan and Revati are there. And I remember Revati teaches Salman Khan to count from 100 to 1 when he was very impulsive. So she trained him literally to count backwards. I think backwards, I don't remember. So, but we should usually count backwards because then our brain's attention shifts to counting. If we count simply 1, 2, 3, 4, that we can count in dreams also, because we are used to it. So then we can resist the impulse to do something. And I have this thing of 48 hours. So if somebody tells me something, I always say okay, and then I say okay, I'll get back to you, and I take 48 hours. And even if I don't tell them I'll come back on this, I take 48 hours. And after 48 hours, initially it was 24 hours, now I have made it 48 hours. After 48 hours, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do this. You can't force me. And then I understand the hidden and the inner things, about that deal or something. So I get it. So this is working for me, so you can also try. So this is, we were at, we cherish our own reflection, and we or you pick up on nuances and are skilled at making connections, and you are skilled at integrating complex information. And for you, it is very, very important to process information constantly. Okay, so you can't switch to next thing before processing all the information which you got. Say your cycle is for 24 hours, or you need a break, what we call as break, that I need a break, that means you need time to process all the information which you have gathered. I do this i do this a lot. And for me, making a podcast episode is like the same thing. I'm reflecting what I have studied, what I have read, what I have experienced, and now I am basically processing the information which I have collected. And what happens more? It's like okay, the third point, the third sign, I think I've covered two. The third sign is you here don't take things personally a lot. People tell you, oh, don't take things personally. Oh, don't make a ruckus out of it. Oh, no. Oh, nothing happened. You overthink. It's okay. It happened last summer. You can't keep thinking till next summer. Okay? Or people might say, oh, forgive and forget. Move on. Okay? And you may sometimes wonder why you are so deeply affected by the world around you while others brush things off easily. You are almost convinced that there is problem in you, and you spend years denying it, that it is nothing but your superpower and you need to use it in a very different way, like Mother Teresa did. I think she had everything. She was loving, she was caring, she was highly sensitive, and I think she was also loving, caring, emotional. Yeah, she was also emotional. She used it as a superpower, and hence she became Mother Teresa. The next sign is you freeze under pressure. If somebody gives you deadline, or if somebody tells you you need to do that, okay, it makes you anxious. Speaking up in meetings, or like before I used to do these podcast episodes, I was like, oh my god, it's terrifying, I can't do it, let's not do it, I'll record this session tomorrow. This happens to me, okay, because I'm not confident, and that is not about confidence. It is a terrifying experience for me, speaking up wherever. And having a giant to-do list is overwhelming, and we usually end up having a giant to-do list because we are the doers. We are highly sensitive. We take everything on us, and basically what happens, we become overstimulated. And for that reason, we are also people who are allergic to air, water, fungus, food, milk, everything. We go and meet a doctor. We eat allergy tablets throughout our lives. We think there is a problem within us, but no. Here, emotional wellness coaching helps. And acceptance helps, above all, that I'm okay. I'm just getting overstimulated. I'm just overthinking. And it is very important to accept that I should not follow the league It's not important that everybody is walking, so I should walk. If everybody is flying, I should fly. If everybody is lying down, I should also lie down. No, ask yourself why. Why should I do that? If I am not feeling good from within, why should I do that? Uh, the I think one, two, three, four. I don't remember. So I think this is the fourth sign. Yeah, I think this is the fourth sign. You are at home inside your head. That's your happy place. HSPs have vibrant inner life. This means you are incredibly original thinker who is extremely self-aware. And mostly these highly sensitive person is very artistic. They are good writers, they are singers, they are performers, they are dancers, they are everything. Okay, they can be, but not necessarily the other way around. All dancers are not HSPs, all actors are not HSPs, all writers are not HSPs. People do that for money also. Even if they don't feel, they'll write because they're getting money. So that is a different thing. If you are a person who does everything because it's a soul calling, then you are, and if you are a dancer, then because you are HSP. So, so there's a soul calling involved. HSPs are highly um, inclined towards what is the soul asking for. They won't go and meet somebody just because that person wants to meet them and they want to meet them and they want to have a good time. No. They might do that, but only till the time they are not ready to accept who they are. And they won't cherish that moment, even if they go for that coffee. It will be the post resonance, I would say, will not be high. What is the flip side of this sign? You overthink, you overanalyze day to day experiences, leading into self consciousness and self criticism. So after a coffee, you will overthink, you will analyze, oh, I didn't feel good, oh, I can't confront, oh, if I tell my friend that I went but I didn't feel good, my friend will not listen. If I tell this to someone else, that person will judge me. Oh, but I didn't like it. Now what to do? Oh, I'm really bad at this. I always do this and I keep repeating this. Oh, I'm a gone case. Self criticism. Because we just want to fit the bill. We want to be there in the league, playing the match. What is the next sign? You have a tough time with negative feedback because they put so much of love, care, everything they have, a lot is at stake. So they are not ready for that negative criticism. And why they are not ready? Because they have worked hard. And working hard has already led to burnout. And they know that the person who is giving them negative feedback has not even spent 5 minutes in understanding the thought behind it. So basically, it hurts. What's the next point? The next sign. You are deliberate in the way you make decisions. So HSPs often struggle to make decisions. They fear choosing the wrong option even if the stakes are low, because HSPs are so conscientious about how their decisions impact others or how they may be perceived. You know, they think, oh my God, I don't know how this person will perceive my gift. I got a gift for my friend on her birthday. There's lots of love, care, emotions, everything, hard work, time management. And now, still, I'm not sure if that person will like it or not. HSPs are always on top of details. HSPs are extremely perceptive. They pick up on specifics of situations and notice the tiniest changes. So you are highly attuned to others' likes, dislikes, preferences, perceptiveness. And that perceptiveness can win you friends and allies right off the bat. So, because you understand so much, some people would really appreciate it, and some people would condemn it. They won't like it. They, people don't usually like, it's like breaching the privacy kind of thing for them sometimes, because I don't want people to know the loopholes, the negative sides, the flip sides. Okay, I want my life to be personal and I want that illusion to remain. I don't want you to remove the veil from the illusion which I have created. So I'll condemn. What is the flip side? Flip side is meticulousness can turn into perfectionism, and that hurts. Why perfection hurts? Sometimes done is better than being perfect. I would say perfection kills, because always striving to be perfect, it's like you are the only rat and you're the only rat in that race. And still you're going round and round and round and it is never ending. So don't do that. Sometimes done is better. What's the next sign? You exude kindness. You are often complimented on your politeness. You are courteous. You have a clear thinking. You have a clear understanding of right, wrong. And what happens? You're probably the champion of integrity and upholding your word at the office. You're the best. And what can happen? I would say, you would be offended by your co-workers who don't share the same traits or others. They won't. They will prove it to you that this plus is a minus. You should not have it at the first place. It's killing you. Because definitely they're envious of you. What's the next sign? You are a problem solver. Commitment and dedication are the qualities that make you a great team member. You're always attentive to the environment. You're able to sense the conflict. You mitigate problems and you flag new opportunities. So you're always there when in need. You are the person everybody wants to be in their team because you'll do everything. So why not just hire you, or even why not just be your friend? And if I'm inviting 100 people to my party, why not invite you? Because you are the doer, you'll come and do everything. So I need such people around me, not because I love them, because they help me. So I want them. What's the next sign? You notice what others miss. Have you ever left a meeting and remarked about your boss? Bosses, any kind of behavior. Maybe he was like pen tapping, and when you said, your co-workers replied, "Oh, we didn't notice that." So who can notice this? Only a highly sensitive person, because they are very attuned to noise, chaos, and other external stimuli. What's the next sign? You go through tissues like it's your job. When I was thinking, yeah, so this is the point which I was highlighting on, that I cry a lot. So HSPs become overwhelmed more quickly than others, and more often it manifests itself into tears. So I have cried in meetings, I have cried everywhere. I have cried on phone, I have cried alone, I have cried in park, I have cried everywhere, you know, because I'm highly sensitive. You won't feel your pain, I will make sure that I feel your pain. That's my problem. It's important to realize that while you may manage your emotions effectively, you should never be ashamed of. And I'm trying to practice this. Um, Initially, I wanted to resist crying, but now when I have read that, I've understood. I want to tell everybody who thinks that person is HSP, they should never be ashamed of it. And they should let them cry. It's okay to cry. You look pretty. Um, what's the next sign? You enjoy working from home because you're very sensitive to the work environment. So you need to be somewhere where you can control the external stimuli, such as how well lit that place is, how quiet that place is, how uncluttered that place is. Okay, so you need home like comfort if your home is gives you that comfort, because this is also a problem with HSPs. Sometimes their home is not their home, but it is as per other people in that home, and they stay in that home like a stranger. So that's not a good scenario. They have to have say in that. What's the next sign? You seek meaning and purpose. So HSPs are not shallow people. They're not shallow. They are driven by intrinsic factors. They want to find enjoyment in their work. This is like this. They don't get this statement. This is like this. It should be like this. Everybody is doing, we should do this. No, they don't work for money or prestige. You are the type of person who looks for work that feels like a calling, soul calling, rather than just for paycheck. And I think it's already 32 minutes. So we will continue this maybe in the next or the next episode. Right now, I don't know because I've not planned it. But I would like to end this episode by saying that if you have spent your life being confused and unhappy with your strong emotions, trying to think instead about ways that you can use these traits as gifts and leverage them as strengths, then your life will be very different from what it is. Accept who you are, cherish your superpower, and put your superpower to some use which will give you immense happiness. Okay, and don't try to be part of that league. Save yourself and help yourself. So, goodbye. Thank you so much. And very soon, I won't take much time. I'll come back with my next podcast episode. Right now, I have not decided, but if you have something specific in your mind, do write to me. Thank you so much. Love you all.